There we go. All right, everyone. So glad to have you here on this beautiful autumn morning. So this is a really powerful time of year because we have just stepped over the threshold into autumn. And I don't know if you could feel it, but as soon as autumn equinox hit last week, it was, I could feel the change. I could feel the change in the weather. And it's definitely cooled off, and now it really feels like fall to me. And it's also, we're right in the High Holy Days in the Jewish sacred calendar, and it is now, we are in the time of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. And it's interesting how autumn in the Jewish tradition is the time of a new beginning, whereas in nature it's a time of ending. But it's true that that an ending, a clearing away, makes room and space for new beginnings. And being on a threshold, whether it's a threshold-like idea of a new year or the changing season, is a powerful, powerful place to be. Because stepping over a threshold necessitates some kind of letting go of what's finished, of what's no longer serving us, of what might be an obstacle in our way, or just what just feels complete. And it necessitates opening up to possibility of what is new, and new growth, new energy, new aliveness, new learning. And I want to just share with you, many of you have seen me share this icon before. This is Shiva. Shiva in the form of Nataraj, or the dancer. And what Shiva is doing is he's standing on a demon, which represents the ego. And he's doing his dance of destruction and creation. Shiva is often associated with anything, letting go, what is finished, death, dissolution, destruction, which is something that's honored in the spirituality of India and from the roots of the yoga tradition. Shiva is everything that we need to let go of. So whether it be the leaves in autumn, or a way of being in our life that no longer serves us, or some fear, or some mind states that are somehow creating an obstacle for us. We offer it into Shiva's fire. You can see Shiva is waving his arms around in a ring of fire. And that's the fire of transformation, the fire of purification. And you see? Yeah. And as what is finished and what is no longer needed is burned up in that fire, then he also invites in new possibility, new growth, new life. So it's really a dance of destruction and creation. And you can't have one without the other. And so we will honor that Shiva's dance today in our asana practice. So, come into your yogic seat. Find your steady and comfortable long spine and open heart. And take a long, slow, deep breath, filling all the way up into the chest. Pause for a moment to experience that fullness, and then let it go with a sigh. Inhale, filling up, nice and slow. Draw the breath up to the collarbones, pause. Feel that aliveness shimmer in every cell. And exhale to release what is no longer needed in the body, in the mind, in the heart. And again, one more. And know that with every deep, mindful in-breath and out-breath, we also participate in Shiva's dance. Letting go, releasing, and opening up to fresh life energy, fresh possibility. And with eyes open with a soft gaze, let the arms rise, reaching long and away, turning the palms up, reaching to the sky, reach through right, reach through left. And exhale, sweep wide and down, just syncing up breathing and movement. Staying long and lifted in the spine, elegant and graceful with your movement, with your breath, focused in your attention, opening and offering. Next in-breath, just let the arms rise halfway and see if you can expand through the fingertips out to the edges of the universe and just feel how the heart expands and opens and lights up. And in that place of expansion, begin to circle the wrists in a way that's an offering out. Make that gesture of kind of flicking off or sending out. What is it today as we stand, as we're in that time of being at the threshold? What is it that you can offer out? Maybe just something in your mind today or something in the bigger picture of your life. And then in the other direction, circle the wrists the other way, finding that gesture of calling in, of drawing in, of welcoming in some new possibility, some new intention, some new prayer. Just bring that into your mind and heart. And then once again, expand, grow wide in the heart. Next, inhale, lift the hands once again to the sky, reaching through right, reaching through left. And on the exhale, sweep the arms down in front of you. Let the right arm come underneath the left. Find eagle arms. Whatever your expression of eagle is, maybe it's backs of the hands touching. Maybe it's just giving yourself a hug. However you can expand and stretch through the upper back, shoulders, behind the shoulder blades, and find some explorations here in your eagle arms. Maybe some circles, breathing into that space between the shoulder blades, breathing into where you feel any restriction, tightness, or just strong sensation. And then exhale to unwind the arms and let the right arm reach to the sky, left palm roots down, and find those two polarities, reaching down to the earth, reaching up to the sky. Find space and opening between the rib cage, and then take it into a side bend. Reach long and away. Breathe into those fingertips, get a little deeper into that side bend. Exhale. Inhale, reach up and relax. Next, inhale, arms reach and rise, reach through right and left. Exhale, left arm underneath, find your eagle arms. And explore the territory here. Perhaps lifting and lowering, perhaps finding circles, perhaps reaching wrists away from you, elbows away from you. Wherever you can feel a sense of expansion and opening in the upper back, upper arms, shoulder blades. Send your ujjayi breath to those places where you're noticing that sensation. Clearing away stuckness, tightness, restriction. And then on the next exhale, unwinding the arms, letting the left hand reach to the sky, right palm roots down, find length and space. Reach up through those fingertips and then take it into a side bend. Reaching long and away, upper arm in line with your ears. Notice if your elbow is bending and see if you can keep your arm straight. Palm down, reach, 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 get a little deeper into that side bend. And exhale, release. Oh yeah. Find a little shake out, and rolling the shoulders. Feel free to let the breath Find a little sound, a little expression with a sigh or any noises of letting go that want to come out. Offer that rolling the shoulders forward. And then arms rise again. We'll take it into a flow, twisting side to side. Exhale into the twist. Inhale up to center. Exhale, twist other side. Your own exploration here, flowing with breath at your own pace, not necessarily going at my pace. Whatever the depth and length of your breath is determines how you move. Just exploring your range of motion and all those essential movements of the spine. And one more round going each side, right to left. Elongating through the spine, lifting up through the crown of the head without lifting the chin. Inhale up to center, and then exhale, bring your hands down in front of you and just roll over the legs, or however you can come into your table pose. And come onto your hands and knees and find some cat-cow spinal waves. As always, letting the breath move the body. So now we're going to play with flexion and extension a little bit more. Low belly presses toward thighs as tailbone lifts. As you come into your cow tilt or dog tilt here, also take a moment to bring the shoulders back a little so you really spread the heart and open through the throat as you lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the chin to the notch at the base of the throat and press into the hands or even come up on fingertips to get a little more rounded spine. One more round. Come to neutral spine, slide your right foot back, press out through the heel, push down and forward into the hands, stretch the back of the leg, the calf muscle, bottom of the foot. And then bring shoulders over wrists and slide that foot all the way over to the left side, coming into a crescent moon shape. Finding another nice side stretch here. And then come back to center. And other side, press out through the left heel. A little press into the hands. And send your breath to where you notice it's tight. Once again, arm bones stacked, and slide that foot as far over to the right side as you can. Curling up like the letter C, right ear to right shoulder, smiling open in the rib cage. Breathing right into that space between the ribs. And back to center. And any wiggles and waggles that feel good here. And hands come forward just a couple of inches so you have some room to circle the hips. You can let your circles get a little bigger with each revolution. Maybe taking it into a little seal pose as you come forward, sweeping through child on your way back. Breathe, enjoy, explore. Try circling the other way, other direction here. And then we're going to take it into your child's pose, extended child's pose. Forehead down if you can, or place something, a block, underneath your forehead if it doesn't want to come to rest on the mat. Reach the hands forward, sitting bones back to your heels. Take a deep breath in and Exhale with a sigh, letting go, offering anything into the earth that needs to be released in the body, mind, or heart. And then look up between your hands. I'm going to give you a couple of options here. The first one is what I call cobra rolls. You're going to look forward on your mat and as you're an extended child, and imagine that you're rolling a ping pong ball with your nose. Butt stays up in the air. Slide the chin as if you're pressing with your nose a ball. Elbows need to widen, and then as the heart comes through between the hands, elbows draw in, you come into your cobra. Plant all 10 toes down. You can come into baby cobra or full cobra, and then press into the hands to round into a cat stretch and sink back to child. So the movement looks like this. Slide that ball through with your nose, widen the elbows, keep the butt up in the air, and as the heart comes between the hands, draw the elbows in, take it into cobra, anchor the pubic bone down. So that's one option, to take a few rounds of those cobra rolls. Now, if that doesn't feel so good in your body, if it feels pretty awkward, other option would be this. From table, slide the hands forward into puppy. Lower the elbows down and come into Sphinx. From Sphinx, then draw the elbows back and take it into your cobra. Back to child. So you still get the same benefit of flexion and extension of the spine. It's just a little easier. Some folks find it a little awkward to do that slide through. So take a couple more of those at your own pace, just really opening up the spine in its forward bend and back bend, flexion and extension movements. And the next time you come back to child, just take another cleansing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh. Inhale, rising up into table. And when you're ready, curl your toes under and press back into your downward facing dog. Press down and away with the hands, arms straight, the ears in line with the upper arms, and take your dog for a nice slow walk. Maybe as you're taking your dog for a walk, you might also want to explore plank to down dog, whatever helps you warm up and open up through the shoulders, arms, core, backs of the legs. And then when you're ready, you can come forward into your plank, firm your core, press out through the heels and lower down knees, chest and chin with buttocks elevated, elbows tucked in. Inhale, come into your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Enjoy the stretch in the backs of the legs, the heart melting down to the place between the feet, the hands pressing down and away. And as you're ready, bring the feet between the hands. So you can do that with a little hop, landing as quietly as you can, or walk the feet to come into a forward bend. Let it all go. Spine pouring out of the pelvic bowl, head loose. Find any wiggles and waggles here. Then invite that lengthening of the spine, space between the vertebrae. Movements of the head, maybe even bending one knee and then the other, keeping the feet flat, but lengthening one leg, and feeling the juicy stretch in the back of one leg, and then the other. And then half lift, flat back, the shoulders in line with the hips, and then unshrug the shoulders, back of the neck long, navel lifting in and up, sitting bones spread wide. Beautiful. Exhale, fold, framing the feet with your hands. And take another half lift, flat back. Try placing fingertips instead of palms, and notice that you get a little more length that way in the spine. And then exhale, fold. Bend the knees, Release the hands and rise up. Palms come together. Exhale. Hands return down the center line to the heart. Coming into standing mountain with hands in prayer position. We'll take it into a vinyasa flow. Inhale, arms rise. Reach through right and left, press the hips forward, arch back, heart, hands, gaze to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, slow dive into a forward fold. Take a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back into a low lunge. So if you need a knee pad, take a moment to place that there. Front knee over ankle, shoulders relaxed, spine long. Take another breath to release the hips in this lunge. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the spine, and activate the inner thighs toward the center as you sweep the hands forward and up, kneeling warrior. Spin the pinkies inward, drop the shoulders. Big breath in as you reach through the fingertips. Exhale, hands meet behind you. Inhale, open wide through the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This is a stability practice right here. Heart shining open like the sun. Lift the pinky side of the hands a little bit more and draw them back to the back end of your mat. Exhale, release, frame that foot, that front foot. Place the right palm down and the left palm on the thigh. We'll take it into a press twist. Just rolling that upper shoulder open, lengthening out through the crown of the head. And if you want, you can curl the back toes under, lift up into high lunge. Power up that back leg, and then take it into a full revolved side angle. Yeah, if that feels good. Otherwise, you can keep that back knee down. Long and wide, and then exhale, release. Frame that front foot with your hands. Step back to plank and take it through your vinyasa sequence to meet in down dog. Some of you might actually be ready for an upward facing dog, maybe doing chaturanga to up dog. That's fine. You're all experienced yogis. Listen to your body. Taking another breath in and out in your downward facing dog. We're going to step through with the right foot. So if you'd like to take it into a three-legged dog, if that feels joyful for you, you can do that. And stepping through with the right foot, sliding left foot back, melting the shoulders, elongating through the spine. Being on fingertips, fists, or blocks, so that you have that room to relax the shoulders rather than rounding the upper back. Take another exhale to offer the hips into the earth. The inner thighs toward the midline, sweep the hands up, pinky spin inward. Keep the pelvis going down and forward, rooting down, coming forward. Make sure the pubic bone comes forward so the tailbone elongates down into the earth. Navel lift. Big breath in. Exhale, meet the hands behind you. Inhale, open the heart. Shoulder blades want to draw toward that center line where the spine is. Big breath in. Exhale, release, and frame the foot with your hands. Left palm roots down, right palm onto the thigh, take it into a twist, roll that shoulder back, and either stay here or take it into your high lunge, revolved side angle. Keeping the knee planted over the ankle, foot flat in that front foot. Long and wide, big inhale, exhale, release, step up, half lift, flat back, exhale, fold. Soften the knees, release, and rise up like the sun. Palms come together. Exhale, back to the heart. Breath in. Release completely, nice and slow. See where you can soften here. And then inhale, arms reach and rise. Reach through the right, reach through the left. Hips press forward, arch back. Exhale, slow dive. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back here. Come into a high lunge. Just take a moment to anchor yourself to square the hips and shoulders to the front. So you want to try to see if you can slide your back foot back enough so that those hips get low enough so you've got a perfect diagonal line through the body rather than sticking your hips up in the air. So notice what's happening for you in your body. Yeah. And then activate through the thighs toward the center line to rise up into your balancing warrior one. So we've got a little balance practice here. Soften the shoulders, lift through the core, and then you can bring your hands back behind you and play with that open heart, and maybe even playing with arching back here, turning your heart and your gaze to the sky if you want a little more balance and stability play. And then coming back upright, open your arms, and we're going to spring off right into crane. So your left foot, I'm going to mirror you here as I face forward, your left foot is going to be lifted, and we're going to take it right into that Shiva Nataraj pose. All right, you see he's lifting one leg, crossing over the standing leg, and he's got a couple of particular mudras that he's using with his hands. So we're going to lift. So let's see, you had left foot back. So we're lifting the left leg. We're going to turn the knee out to the side, and if you need to touch your foot down just to stabilize yourself, you can. The same side hand as the lifted leg faces down, palm in front of the navel. The other hand faces away from you like you're saying stop. This is a mudra called Abhaya Mudra, which is the mudra of no fear. So we don't have to fear those transitions, that letting go. Now, Shiva waves his arms around in the fire of transformation. You're going to keep the standing leg bent a little bit here. And if you need to touch down to steady yourself, that's fine. I'm going to invite you to think about what you want to offer into Shiva's fire, what you want to let go of. And then waving your arms counterclockwise, and I'm mirroring you here, offer into Shiva's fire something in your mind, heart, and in your life that you're ready to let go of. At this time of shifting into autumn, time of, for many people, a new year, new beginning. You might even want to name it out loud. Fear, overwhelm, stress, maybe something in a relationship, something in your work, some mind state that you want to offer out into Shiva's fire. And then bring it back into the no fear mudra, the other hand in front of your navel. Yes. And then stepping back gracefully, take that leap of faith, land on the ball of your foot, come back into your balancing warrior, palms come together, and take it into either a prayer twist, if that's available to you, or one hand down, one hand rising to the sky in that revolved side angle twist. Whatever twist feels good here, powerful one or a gentle one, and hands frame that front foot, step back to plank. Take it through your connecting vinyasa, either chaturanga up dog or knees, chest, chin to cobra, meeting in downward facing dog. Let downward dog for a moment be a resting pose. See if you can find that balance of reaching your heels into the earth and hands into the earth and lifting hips high to find a place where you can actually come to rest here. When the downward dog pose is done properly, you should feel it in your body as a resting pose. You can actually hang out there for a while. Yeah. And if your heels don't want to come all the way down to the earth, sometimes you can take a rolled up blanket, or I'm going to give you a wedge right here that you can just feel that sense of support. Yeah. We're going to step through with the left foot now. So if you took three-legged dog on the other side, enjoy experimenting with that here, lifting it high, keeping the heart low, stepping through into your high lunge. Take a moment to stabilize yourself here, square hips and shoulders to the front of the mat. And when you're ready, release the hands and gracefully rise up into your crescent lunge or balancing warrior one. Soften the shoulders, open the heart, assume that powerful, balanced, focused stance of warrior. And then we're going to spring off right through crane into the Shiva Nataraj pose. I'll show you again a picture of how he stands, one leg crossed over. We're going to do the other side now with that hands making different mudras, but the no fear one is one that we can really see right there. Yeah. All right. So coming into your Shiva Nataraj stance. So the lifted leg, the knee turns out to the side, the standing leg is slightly bent, and that same side hand of the lifted leg, hand covers the navel, fingers pointing down. The mudra of no fear, like you're saying, stop, to that insidious fear that can creep into the mind when we're faced with stepping over a threshold into a change. And once you feel steady and comfortable here, this time, what are you calling in? You offered something into Shiva's fire. Now what do you want to invite in? So this time, clockwise. Clockwise. Maybe you want to name out loud what fresh new energy and possibility you want to call in for this autumn season. More joy, more creativity. I'm saying mine, but you can feel free to say some of yours out loud. I don't know if I put you all on mute, so I think I need to make sure that I've got you on mute. I don't know if I did that. All right. All right. And then coming back into that Shiva Nataraj pose, holding this balance pose for a while here. And then taking that graceful leap of faith back into your balancing warrior one. I don't know if we had a chance to open the heart here, but we can take that if we didn't do that on the side. Might have missed that. And then taking it into the twist of your choice. Either prayer twist or hand split, long and wide. Release when you're ready and step the back foot up to meet the front foot. Flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees and rise up slowly. Palms come together. Return to the heart. Pause. Find your breath. Notice what's alive in you, what you've cultivated through that beautiful flow of postures. And then come to turn to face sideways on your mat. With your feet as wide as a leg length apart from heel to heel, toes turn out 45 degrees. We're going to come into the five-pointed star. Once again, starting with the same posture that we did seated, expansion right through the heart. I call this the embracing the world pose. And we're going to take a flow from this embracing pose into your warrior two. Warrior two, the sword-like posture of warrior two, is all about cutting through obstacles and setting intentions with that one-pointed focus. So inhale, hands come to the sky, and palms come together. Exhale, pivot into your warrior two, so that if I mirror you, your right toes point straight ahead, your left toes turn slightly in past center, heel lined up with instep. Hips open to the long end of your mat, heart open, shoulders down, focusing your gaze right on that middle finger. with that spirit of intention, cutting through. We're going to flow side to side. Inhale back through, 5-pointed star, embracing the world. Palms touch at the top of the in-breath. Exhale, warrior two, other side. So check the alignment of your feet so you have heel to instep. Soften shoulders and widen through the heart. Using your Ujjayi breath, flowing side to side. Inhale. Exhale. At your own pace, not doing the Simon Says thing by trying to follow my pace, but listen to your own breath, your own need to either move a little slower or a little faster. And this is an exploration of that combination of power and grace. Gracefulness, fluidity in your flow, but landing in that spirit of one-pointed focus and power that the warrior energy holds. And along with that sense of one-pointed focus and determination, we also bring in a little bit of joy and playfulness. So next time you land in your warrior two, turn the front palm up and take it into your dancing warrior. Inhale, so you get that nice side stretch. Exhale through your warrior two. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, dancing. Exhale, warrior two. And being mindful of the bent knee, that you don't want to let it draw in front of you. You want to have that outside edge of the knee drawing toward your pinky toe to keep your knee stabilized over your ankle. And if you want to add one more exploration here, next time you take it into your dancing warrior, come right through warrior two on the exhale. And on the inhale, forearm to thigh, and take it into your extended side angle. Let your stance be wide enough so you've got a long line of energy from the outer edge of that extended leg, of that foot, to your fingertips. Reach long and away through those fingertips. And then if you want to take it into a bind, opening up into a bind, big breath in. Exhale, back into warrior two. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Take that same exploration on the other side. Warrior two as you land on the exhale. Inhale, top palm turns up, take it into dancing. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Parshvakonasana, extended side angle. Beautiful. And take it into your bind if that feels good, either back of the hand to the hip or reaching through, grabbing your thigh, rolling that shoulder open, look up at the sky. Your core is really going to support this pose here. Reaching long and away, exhale back into warrior two. Inhale, embracing the world, and exhale right into your goddess pose here. So the knees bend enough to bring those thighs to as close to parallel as you can. Notice if your shoulders are coming forward and keep them stacked right over the hips. Tuck the tail down so the pubic bone's going to come forward a little. So the whole back is long as if you're leaning against the wall. Elbows shoulder height, drawing back a little bit to open the heart. 3 deep breaths here. Powerful goddess. Ujjayi breath. After your third breath, open up into the goddess embracing the world. Pivot on the heels, the toes turn, point straight ahead. Outer edges of your feet are parallel to the short ends of your mat. Take it into a half forward fold. Shoulders in line with hips, long and wide. Back of the neck long as you look down. Feel your core supporting you in this pose. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Big breath in. And then exhale, come into a full, wide leg forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. And I'm going to give you a moment to explore here. So some of you might want to take it into like a wide leg down dog, reaching the hips back and the hands forward. Some of you might want to take it into a twist here, pressing one hand down and letting the other hand rise up. So explore. Some of you might even want to take it into a side lunge, going side to side. So just listen and play and explore for a moment here in this wide leg forward bend. Breathe, enjoy, and explore. Up halfway again onto fingertips, flat back. Soften the knees, pivot on the heels, the toes turn out 45 degrees. Slowly begin to roll up. You can keep your hands on your thighs if that helps. Stack bone on bone. Open up as you straighten the legs into five-pointed star. Embracing the world. Palms come together overhead. Exhale. Hands draw down the center line of the body to rest of the heart. You can heel toe, the feet to hip width apart. Just pause and notice what's alive in you. And we're going to take it down to the mat now for some upside down exploration. And I'm going to invite you to come into an inversion that serves you well right now. It could be shoulder stand plow. If you have a headstand practice and you want to take that, you can do that. If you feel secure in that. Or if you want something a little bit gentler, the most gentle practice would be just to lift the hips and place a block in the flattest setting under the sacrum. And just let the legs come up in the air. If you want to take it into a full shoulder stand, I like to start with knees bent, get a little momentum to lift the hips and bring the hands to frame the sacrum. Walk the elbows together as you keep your knees bent. I like to come into plow pose first, either bent knee or straight leg, so you really have room to walk the shoulders, tuck the shoulders toward one another and the elbows in. And then from there, taking it into your expression of shoulder stand. With my headset in the way, it's hard for me to really do this well. But you can keep the hips bent a little bit and take it into a modified shoulder stand to keep the weight off of the neck and more on the shoulders and upper arms. And if you're exploring the plow pose as part of your sequence, if your feet don't reach the floor, just keep your hands framing your low back on either side, or come into bent knee to see if you can get the toes to touch. If you've got your feet anchored down and your legs straight, then you can release the hands and clasp them like we do in bridge pose. Lifting the sit bones high, pressing the top of the chest toward the chin. In shoulder stand and plow, we get a compression, kind of a squeeze and soak of the thyroid area, because that whole area is compressed and squeezed together. And then when we come out of it and we open it and go into our fish pose, which is the complementary pose, then you get to open that whole area to fresh blood and life energy, which we'll do in a few moments. I'll give you a few more moments, a few more breaths to explore your expression of being upside down, which nourishes the heart, nourishes the thyroid and parathyroid, and other glands in the head and nourishes the brain. Up the wall, but you get a lot of benefit just having your lower extremities higher than the head. Yeah. And when you're ready, I invite you to transition gradually, slowly, out of your inversion, to come down onto your back. Take a couple of breaths in Shavasana. You can remove anything that's underneath your body, any blocks or cushions. Turn the palms up and just let the body, the physical body, the energy body, integrate the benefits of your inversion. Just feel yourself comfortably held by the earth beneath you. Connect once again to the rhythm of your breathing. And I'm going to demonstrate the fish pose. Many of you who've been practicing with me for a while know the fish pose, but I'm going to demonstrate here how we can practice that and different options. So you're going to bring your legs together so that the feet are close. And tuck your arms, palms down, under the body. And the idea is you want to tuck the entire arms under, so as best you can, see if you can roll your upper arms under your back. And so your buttocks are sitting on the backs of your hands or wrists, palms down. And even just doing this is an expansion of the heart. You should be able to feel that heart open right here. Really walk the shoulder blades toward the center of the spine. Either just stay here, or if it's available, press into the elbows and press into the hands, the whole lower arms, press into the mat. Imagine a string drawing your heart from the sky, drawing your heart up, arching the back, pressing the chin back to the back of your mat and letting the crown of your head come to rest on the mat without putting weight on the crown. Your weight is being supported by your elbows and hands and your lower arms. But expand and lift through the heart. Feel that string lifting your heart to the sky. You should be able to lift and lower by pressing into your elbows. So you're not actually putting weight on the crown of your head, only just slightly touching. It opens the throat, it opens the chest. You can take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Stick out the tongue. Go and again. Inhale, exhale. Try to draw the tip of the tongue toward the chin. One more time. Clearing out the throat chakra, that place of self-expression. And then press into the elbows to tuck the chin and bring the back of the head down. And release the arms, turn the palms up. And just feel all the energy in the body. All that you've opened up to through the fish pose. Great heart opener, throat opener. I'll just demonstrate that another way that you can do that, that cushion actually that you're using, I can just show you, and people at home may not have these, but this is a teardrop cushion meant specifically for a restorative version of that practice, where if you had time to hang out for a while, you place the cushion here with the short end, the thin end closer to your low back, and then you place a block where your head is going to go, because you're not going to have your head in that deep extension. It's more of a chest opener here. And you sit right behind that short end and lean Just position the cushion so that it's right between your shoulder blades, and then let the head rest on the block, and just let the shoulders roll off the side of the block. And you just hang out there for a while and just let the posture do its work, and inviting your heart to open. When you come out of this, this of course is just a fast forward demonstration. You would bend your knees and roll onto your side so you don't lift up your head from a deeply extended position. If you don't have one of those teardrop cushions, you can place your blocks kind of like a T here, so that the flat block, the block in the center of your back, becomes that cushion. Not quite as comfortable, but it can allow that nice opening like so. So you would not, when you use the supports, the cushion or the blocks, you don't have your hands tucked under you. You just let the palms remain open. So that's something you can practice on your own if you aren't comfortable doing the full extension of the fish pose. From here, let's bend the knees and come into bridge. So walk your heels close to your low back, hands down by your sides. And then as you're ready, slowly rolling up into Setu Bandhasana bridge pose, keeping your knees over your ankles. If it's comfortable, you can tuck your upper arms underneath the body, clasp your fingers to give yourself a little more lift. Press the top of the chest toward the chin, expand through the heart. Invite the hips to lift higher than the heart, heart higher than the head. Breathe in and out through the nose. 3 to 5 deep breaths. After your 3 to 5 breaths, you want to roll down mindfully, unclasping your hands and rolling that spine down from your shoulders, down through the middle back, down to the lower back, down to the sacrum, like that string of pearls, one pearl at a time. Maybe you want to hug your knees in toward your chest, or take happy baby here. Happy baby draws the knees down on either side of the rib cage, soles of the feet face the sky, grabbing your feet either by your big toes, outside your feet, or even inside your feet. Inside is nice because you want your arms to be inside your legs, not outside, so that the knees can come down on either side of the rib cage, legs make an L shape. And getting playful as your baby, maybe rocking side to side, maybe making baby cooing noises. Pressing the sacrum down as well, lengthen through the low back. And then bringing the inner thighs together, let's take it into a figure 4, just for a few breaths here. Supine pigeon, making a figure 4 with the legs, turning the right knee out to the side, letting the right hand slip through that space between the thighs. You're either going to clasp your fingers right behind your thighs or around your shin. Draw that left thigh in and use your elbow on the right hand inside your right, on your right arm, inside the right thigh, to press that thigh away until you feel the juiciness of the stretch. Take a few deep breaths and send your breath and your loving attention to the places in your hip or inner thigh or wherever your glutes or wherever you're noticing strong sensation. And the thing to remember here is when you come into your figure four, you want your foot to be past your leg. You don't want to be pressing right on the ankle. You want to have the foot past the thigh. And then, once you've taken 3 nice big breaths into the glutes or into the hips, into the thigh, release. Notice the difference between one side and the other, and take it on the other side. Many people notice that here that it's easy to become more aware that the body is not symmetrical. Sometimes we have more tightness and restriction on one side, or more openness and range of motion on a particular side. We can just hold that with a loving, accepting curiosity rather than any self-judgment. And then from here, I invite you to transition into a twist of your choice. We'll just take a couple of breaths on each side, whatever reclining twist feels good to you. So it could be both knees together, coming down to one side, or it could be straight leg with a bent knee on top. Or it could be twisted root coming into eagle legs. Whichever way you take your twist, you want to invite the backs of both shoulders, both shoulder blades, to make contact with the mat. Maybe it'll lift a little bit, but you just want to bring awareness there. And you want your head to turn in the opposite direction of the way your knees are going. If you haven't transitioned to the other side in your twist, this would be a good time to do that. And when you are ready, I'm going to invite you to come into Shavasana for a few minutes of complete letting go and releasing any doing, striving, or efforting in your practice. Is there anything you need to be comfortable? Take a moment to find a blanket over you or a bolster under you. Whatever you need for your maximum comfort to invite a letting go. And while you let yourself release into the earth, I want to offer you a song that celebrates the threshold, the transition from summer into fall. The goldenrod is bursting like a fire on the hill, another sign that summer's winding down. Bright red berries, round and lush, peer out from the thorny brush. They are the kind that I can't touch, they fall to the ground. The black-eyed Susan stretched to see the thistle's purple majesty, and Queen Anne folds her lace into a crown. Wildflowers, wildflowers, they don't question why they live. Their simple beauty is the gift they give. Sometimes I wonder why I'm here. My path in life seems so unclear. What is the work that I must do to keep my beauty shining through? My eyes turn to the pink sky in the west. To be alive I am so blessed, but that is my humble opinion. We each come to earth as an honored guest, our souls put to a loving test. We have a purpose, but we do not have dominion. Wildflowers, we are like wildflowers. We long to let our colors show, for in the light is how we live and grow. Each blossom is a miracle to see, but cannot grow without the bee. A tiny deva spreading angel wings, and like the bee connects each flower, we are joined by a loving power. From heart to heart, this love connects all beings. Come drink the nectar from my soul and watch the miracle unfold, and then surrender to the cold. We give our petals to the winter wind. Wildflowers, wildflowers, I dedicate my life to sow the seeds of loving kindness in my soul. Slowly begin to deepen your breath and invite some movement into the fingers and into the toes. Find any movement that brings you back into the present moment, into your body. You can draw your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself an embrace, Or maybe you want to take a long stretch, like you're just waking up, whatever feels good here, to help you transition over onto your side into fetal position. And slowly take your time to invite the body to come up back to your yogic seat. And bringing the hands together in front of the heart. However it is for you that you connect with this time of transition, stepping over the threshold, this powerful place where we're both letting go and inviting in new possibility. May we step into these new possibilities mindfully and heartfully and with joy. Let's close our practice with the sound of Om. Namaste. Namaste. So we'll do a 10-minute meditation for those of you who can stay. So take a moment to gather whatever cushions, accoutrements you need to support a long spine. And I will set the timer. And if you're not staying for meditation, have a beautiful day, everyone. Different lineages of meditation. Teach it. Some lineages teach meditation with eyes open, just downcast, eyelids softly open, focusing your gaze down toward the tip of your nose. Others have eyes closed. Some forms of meditation teach to focus on the third eye inwardly, to just keep your eyes closed, but draw your eyes toward and your attention toward that place in the between the eyebrows. So find the gaze that feels comfortable for you. Either eyes open, eyes closed, cast down, or toward the third eye. Let your shoulders soften back and down so the heart remains open but not strained. Just that gentle sense of openness in the heart. Notice the back of the neck. And so adjust the level of your chin so that the back of the neck is not kinked or the head is not flexed forward. Just the back of the neck following the beautiful, gently curved line of the spine. Just enough effort to maintain that sense of lift and aliveness. With enough ease to balance it out. Softness around the jaw, the eyes, the brow, the belly, the buttocks, the hips, the thighs. Take these first few moments to just check into where you can soften and or where you need to apply a little bit more attention or energy. find an ever so slight Buddha smile. Just the slightest lift in the edges of the mouth. And notice how applying that, little corners of the mouth lift. Not forcing a smile, but just a very gentle shift there. Notice if anything changes energetically for you. Because sometimes the most subtle movements can have very noticeable effects. Feel the buttocks and tailbone and sit bones rooting down into the earth, offering grounding and support. Feel the crown of the head extending to the sky as a reminder of the infinite vastness that is your own true nature. Find a position of the hands that's comfortable, either palms down or palms up, or any other mudra that feels right for you. And notice where you sense your breath. At the nostrils, belly or chest. Or maybe you sense the wave of all three, rising and falling. And invite the mind to easily and gently ride on that wave of breath. Let the breath find its own pace and rhythm, and let it come to you. Perhaps noting in on the in-breath and out on the out-breath. Just to give the mind an anchor. Attention gently riding on the breath. And when the mind wanders into thought or awareness of sensation or sound, just note that. Thinking, hearing. Or notice a sensation and name it. Tightness, ache, pulsing, whatever it is that's calling your attention. And name it, and allow the mind to gently return to the breath. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Namaste.